Welcome back to the Amy Kodachian and the Expert Show, where we bring some of the top experts in the world to help you transform your business and personal life. I am your host, Amy Kodachian, not Kardashian.
And I am your co-host, Stephanie Thompson. I'm a classically trained singer-songwriter. Well, in this episode, we've been learning about living your artistic dream, becoming a storyteller. I'm a storyteller, now what? And now we're going to talk about serving the story that serves the audience. And we're going to talk about this with Ren and Coren Zai.
Beautiful. I mean, you guys have given us a lot. I can't wait till we have the webinar.
It's
really
exciting.
Yes. So excited to have your energy.
Thank you.
It's kind of like you guys share from the heart and you're uplifting, and it's just like beautiful.
Well,
okay,
just like
I'm
you
going to
guys.
give you the stage.
I had
The
a
stage is
question,
yours.
and maybe this will lend itself to the next subject, serving the story
Okay.
that serves the audience. What if you're a songwriter and you've written songs
Yes.
and you're stuck?
Ah,
You're just
That's
stuck.
a good
You're
question.
just like, nothing's. You have some ideas, but just like,
It's not flowing.
yeah, it's not flowing.
I'm gonna take that
Oh,
one.
please.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. Now, let me ask you a question. Stuck as in you've got some stuff written and you're not sure where to go with it, or you can't get it on paper.
Can't get it on paper.
Okay. That usually kind of, and this, I know Ren's going to go because it goes
Okay.
right in with it. Most of the time, when people are writing a song and they get stuck, it's because they aren't quite sure what the message of the song is.
Oh,
That's
okay.
absolutely
And
correct.
that's where you're going, right?
No, that's where you go.
Okay.
Yours is post, mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're quite sure the message, like for me, I'll go, okay, like I wrote a song called Cry Wolf. Well, that could mean a zillion different things. All right. Cry Wolf, what's it about? Well, my first marriage, not this beautiful man, but my first marriage was a rough one. And he was always saying that, oh, I'm poor me. And then he'd turn right around and stab me in the back. And so my message was, okay, stand up, say no. And I wrote the song literally because I was so clear on that message. I woke up in the middle of the night, went in the living room so I didn't wake him up, and wrote it like a book.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
It's a
there's been
powerful
right.
song.
There's been other songs.
That makes so much sense how the Rise Above came.
Yeah,
because the Rise Above, we knew the message.
You had the message was
You must
so
know the
clear.
message.
Wow, we were
So clear.
It was so
Yes.
clear when the message came from the Rise Above. It was
Yeah.
clear about that little girl. She have a message. It just felt it. It's not
Right.
something came up with.
and it's a
I
brilliant
just
song.
felt the light around me,
And it was so
I
clear
heard it.
when, I woke up in the middle of the
Yeah,
night.
she
and
had the melody.
was like there.
Because
It was like,
that
yes,
is
that's
validation
very
to
valuable.
what you were saying. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
The message is important.
Wow.
Just a little quick thing, and we'll get into the other part.
Okay.
Okay, we were once, like everyone else, paying bills. We can't pay the bills.
Oh my God.
Someone came in and said, all right,
This is
I'll
so
give you the
funny.
money to pay the bills. I need you to write 13 songs. And I went, okay.
Okay, let me
Cool.
be clear with the money. That was $10,000.
Yeah. So I went,
when it
okay.
was.
And then I said,
How
all
many
right.
years ago?
Maybe
It was 2006, I think.
2010
So,
years.
yeah.
They came in, we had to pay the bills on the studio, and the guy asked, all right, I said, okay, no problem. What kind of time we got? He said, well, I've already paid for the recording studio in Frisco, so I've got, about 12 days. I went, there's a rule in our business. You know what you say in our business? You go, okay.
Gotcha.
You don't show them inside. You're going, oh my God. But so I thought to myself, okay, I know I've written most of my life, but that's a bit of a push. So I did some really fast research. Is there anything that speeds this process up from the techniques that we were trained in?
Yeah.
And I found there was one that came out of a UCLA professor called The Natural Writer. I thought, okay, that's interesting. I'll try it. You grab a blank piece of paper because let's be honest,
Paper, like a sketch
it's kind of like your mind when someone says, can you do this? And you go, yeah. And you go, but I haven't thought of anything. I got a blank here.
Yeah.
But of course, yes, thank you. So you put a word in the center. If you can't think of anything else, is your song about happiness? Is the meaning happiness or sadness? Put it in the center.
Or the message.
Yeah, and don't organize anything. It's a right brain technique.
It's kind of like the speaking too.
So
they do
you
that.
just
yeah.
write it down,
Yes.
and whatever ideas flow, get your left brain out. I don't care if you're going sadness, purple puppies. Write it down. All of a sudden, after 20 minutes, there will be patterns that are more brilliant than you could have come up when you're thinking. But now let me move to serve.
Don't tell me that's not great information.
Serve
No,
an
that's great
audience that
information.
you serve a story that serves an audience. To be clear, as an actor, the worst thing I could ever do was serve me.
Yes.
And as a singer, it is the same thing. Be clear. My job, and what a lucky job I get when I get to do it, I get to serve you. And here's why.
Motivation, people.
First,
just saying.
Write a story, pick a story that moves you. Now, that story has
You're
to
proud
reach
to
an
share
audience.
it.
And if you reach an audience,
How to share it.
you
Yeah,
will
have to share.
begin to make a living at your love.
Yes.
And you know how people get to do that? So few. But let me be honest. If you really get great at what you do, like we talked about, train well. Remember, it's not about you. Someone once asked me when I was directing a whole stage play, and they said, da-da-da-da, I said, do you know who's in charge? I went, oh, yeah, you, the director. I said, no, the story tells me. I serve the story, you serve the story, the lighting serves the story, the sound serves the story, and that story has to serve an audience or no one's ever walking into this theater. And they got the most people for that year than they did in their history.
Yeah, we had to extend 2 weeks.
We did.
On
So
that
the
show.
simple fact is, please remember,
Beautiful.
love what you do, but it is a service you
Serving.
do.
Sure.
It is taking care of people. It's caring about them. And when you can move the heart, because let's be honest, somebody's had a terrible day. They maybe got fired. The car had a flat. This is their normal
we
9
go
to
through
5.
life is-
They don't want to come
life
in
is
and think
not
about
easy.
their life.
Yeah.
They want you, take me somewhere, please.
Yes. Yes.
So you go someplace, you disappear in that, and everybody, I have a rule of thumb. I disappear into my story, you come with me.
That's right.
And that's what we do.
And it doesn't matter.
Singing, acting, lecturing, even as a photographer, I can't help myself. And that's tough because in 1 second, I got to have a story. I'm just kind of crazy about story, but I was taught that way.
He's
so
a
young.
story boy.
He's
So-
a storyteller.
He's a storyteller through
And
through.
you are all storytellers. You have such stories in your heart.
Yeah.
Trust yourselves. Will yourself to do the work it takes to understand your medium. Dance, singing, acting, combinations, photography, film, writing, painting. You're all storytellers. Go from in here.
Storyteller is everything. What I tell you all the time. Story.
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 Yes, she does. She does
Let's be
tell me
honest.
that all
You
the
had a
time.
dramatic day.
Yes.
It's the worst day of your life. You go home. Oh God! Put on a movie. I need to see a story.
And I learned that. I mean, I wasn't born knowing it. I have learned from some of the top speakers in the country.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
And
You
I
lived a
learned.
story that I can't
But
wait till the movie comes out on this one.
Yes, that's right.
This
that's
is a great
right.
movie.
Okay.
Needs
so-
to be a script.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So, but I learned from them to. Okay, I had the story. I lived it, of course, but I didn't know how important, how much I need to share, where I need to share, how I need to
There
share.
it is,
So
share.
I was a student all over again. The first time I talked. Now it's becoming my show here. I'm talking.
No, we
But
love
the
it.
first
No,
time-
this is all part of
first
what we're
time I
doing.
talked, I just drove and went to one of the Toastmasters, and I told the story, and I had everybody in the room literally teared down, and my English
Believe me.
was horrible 10 years ago. I
But
was
your
like,
heart was
but
fabulous.
I was like, really, my English was completely not correct. And I don't know how they understood me, but they did. But then, after I start to get in the technical part of it and learning about it, I didn't say it anymore the same time I said it.
That's important. That's
Yeah.
important. That's
But I had to go take a tour back
Yeah.
to really learn it a little bit more, and then affections and learning, and then
Exactly.
come back to the right story from the heart.
And it does.
Exactly. Because
I
you,
guess that's what you're seeing
yes,
the
you
results.
get you get the left brain
Yes.
working. You know,
Yes.
can you sing?
You
You
the
start
note?
with the right,
Can-
then the
you
left
go to the
organizes these creative
You
ideas.
got, I always say I'm the 1 + 1 = 2 girl because I'm programming muscle memory and building muscle strength.
Yes.
Then I throw him to him.
Yeah.
And then when he takes that picture, that story, and he puts it on the wall, and he puts some lace on it, and some purple
Yeah.
polka dots, and a ribbon. No, he's a dude. He doesn't do that. But he goes to the right brain and creates a story from the technical. But once you have the technical working,
Yes.
then you can go to the storytelling.
Yes, yes.
And in the future, along with that, you asked earlier, there's a phenomenal technique on how to develop a melody that fits the story. which is something I was graceful enough to learn from hearing lectures from Leonard Bernstein
Well,
and
we're going to
Mancini.
talk about this stuff more and
We
more.
maybe
So
need a
web-
part
webinars.
two and a webinar.
No,
We're gonna have some
webinar,
fun.
live
Yes, webinar.
webinar where you can
Yeah.
actually ask questions, specific questions, and we're going to have the whole hour, 60 minutes.
Exciting.
You can ask
Yeah.
questions and they can answer your questions. So go to akandtheexperts.com and sign up for this webinar. Please, I never beg for this, but I am right now because I know this is going to be awesome.
And
so
Amy,
we'll see you next
the
week.
next episode, we're going to have Lance Allred, the first legally
Yes.
deaf NBA player.
So
Wow, that's fascinating.
I'm gonna be watching.
we missed.